Hey everybody, it's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. It is July 21st, 2026, and we're doing a Which is Better, and two unbelievably great albums. Ultimate Sin, yeah, this is my first, the UK first pressing edition, love it, and Dream Evil. God, two great albums. Fourth album from each one, you know, these two have always kind of been at each other's heads. Which one do I like better? This one, by a hair. Now, so yes, this one is the one which is better for me. This one is a great album. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with either one. The only reason I put this one slightly below Ultimate Sin is there are a couple of tracks that are weak. And I have found that with Dream Evil, people are all over the place with what songs are the weaker ones. I think for me, Sunset Superman is one of the weaker ones. God, that kind of is only it. Overlove is I don't know if I want to say Overlove is weaker because it's still a great song, but I guess so. Yeah, I guess it would be the only other weaker one. On this one, I mean, this is the one I told you before. I listen to this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. There's really no weak tracks on this one for me. There's a lot of great deep tracks. And that's what I'm going to talk about with these two albums. Because they're not the ones you think of when you think of Ozzy and you think of Dio. They're not the first ones that pop into your mind. This is very much a comeback album for Dio because most people, including myself, think that Sacred Heart was a misstep. And this was a return to form in some ways. I'll talk about what screwed this album up in a second. This one, a lot of people think, is where he kind of went downhill. This was more pop Ozzy. And a lot of people did not like that. Okay. But I got the Ozzy one in my hand. Yes, is it pop Ozzy? Absolutely. But it's got so many great songs. Yes, Shot in the Dark, the big single, Ultimate Sin, Lightning Strikes, I love them all. I think, though, the deep tracks that I love are just as good as the singles. Secret Loser is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Never Know Why is awesome. Never is awesome. And Fool Like You. My two big deep tracks off this album are Secret Loser and Fool Like You. I loved those songs. And it didn't hurt that when I was in high school, you know, I was a metalhead and I went to a Catholic high school. And it was kind of prestigious. And I didn't fit in. And boy, did they rail on me for being a metalhead. There weren't any, there were like three other ones. And they didn't want to talk about being a metalhead. In Fool Like You, I would think of all these perfect people with their money and everything, and how their wonderful world. And Fool Like You is my theme song for them. This is a great album. I don't think there's a bad song on this album. Again, like I said, Sunset Superman is probably the weak song off this one for me. And the tracks on this one just are not as strong as this, even though there are some great songs. And there's one song on here that I will say blows everything on this one away, and that is the one that should have been the single, Night People. Night People is one of Dio's best songs. It was a major miscalculation to have I Could Have Been I Could Have Been a Dreamer and All the Fools Sail Away. That's why I'm not calling them although All the Fools Sail Away. I mean, it's good though. That's what killed this album for me. Is that was the sing. Those two were the single. If they would have launched this album with Night People, I think this album would have been a monster because it's so good. The deep track that I think is awesome on this one is Naked in the Rain. Naked in the Rain is another unbelievable Dio song. Absolutely fabulous. This album is, I mean, it is an album of deep tracks. most people don't even know I Could Have Been a Dreamer and All the Fools Sail Away. And when the Dio fans that were hanging on by a thread heard them, they gave up. They left. So this is technically an album full of deep tracks. I love the title track. Faces in the Window is another awesome song. So it's tough. It really is. I mean, you are going to... Again, this is which is better, because both these albums are great. This one, the songs for me are all solid. Again, this one has a couple that are... Sunset Superman is probably my I'll listen to it, but I will skip over it from time to time. So, both coming from an era, this is glam Ozzy. People think this is glam Dio because of the two singles. And it's not, because the rest of the album is our absolute rocker. So, tell me what you think. Which one is better? Ultimate Sin, again, the fourth album from both of them. Ultimate Sin or Dream Evil. You're not going to go wrong with either one. They're both awesome albums. And, hey, if you don't have them, get them. I think everybody watching this channel has them. But if you're new, if you're young, get the albums. Are great. I will say this. If you are like... I know some of my daughter's friends periodically will watch this channel. This is the album you want to get if you're like into all the garbage music of today, K-pop and all that kind of stuff. This is a more commercial-friendly album. This or No More Tears to get you in. Yes, I know people are going, what are you talking about, Blizzard of Oz? If you're going from the K-pop garbage, it can't jump right into the fire. This will be a nice bridge. All right, let me know. Which one do you think is better? Ultimate Sin, Dream Evil. Do you think that Ultimate Sin is glam Ozzy and it's garbage? Do you think that Dream Evil was just too little too late for Dio? Or do you think they're both great like I do? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you. Press it twice.